Steel City Sports World's back in full effect. Got a packed house today. The Hall of Famer Claudio Rosano, Ralph R.W. Media's in the house, Fillmore's in the house, and we got Smoker Jim. What's going on, fellas?
Hey,
What's happening? Good to see you.
Doing good, man.
We got so much to talk about, man. We got to get into it, man. Steelers, 2 in a row. Defense was poor, and we'll get into it. But first, let's get it started. As we always do, we got the Hall of Famer, Claudio. What's your huddle up today?
All right, look, I've never seen a guy have a postseason like Ohtani. I used to think Reggie and Clemente, those guys, but this guy is going crazy, and I give him credit. But, and I'm very critical of the pitchers and the coaches. If you watch, now I'm going to have our listeners do some homework now. Watch the Ohtani commercial for New Balance, and when he swings uppercut and he opens up. Watch when he warms up on deck. He opens up. He swings up. Okay, and he opens up his chest towards, in his case, the second baseman, first baseman. When you have a hitter like that, he has a hole on the outside part of the plate. Okay, and up. High fastballs, throw high. Now, you can't miss. But these are professional pitchers who can hit a dime from 60 feet away. At least you hope they can. They have command of X amount of pitches. So you throw them high and tight, can't miss, and you throw them backdoor sliders or anything on the outside corner. Jim Rooker used to say when he was an announcer, throw the hitter high and tight to back him off the plate, then you throw him outside. Now, if you look at the 1988 World Series Dodgers against the Oakland A's, Kurt Gibson, who was busted up. He limped up to the home plate. He took some bad swings. Dennis Eckersley threw a beautiful backdoor slider against Kurt Gibson. Watch the approach that Kurt Gibson had on an outside pitch to a lefty. He stepped towards shortstop, third base, towards the ball, caught the ball with the fat part of the bat, yanked it for a home run. Ohtani can't do that. He won't do that. He sticks his butt out, reaches for the pitch. That is the hole for him, but they have not exposed it. Okay, yesterday there was a strikeout. He got caught looking on an outside pitch. But why they're not doing that more often drives me crazy. So what's the game plan now? Walk them, intentionally walk them. That's like Luther, Fillmore, or Jim calling me and say, hey, Claudio, Ralph, my turn signal isn't working. Well, don't work. Just don't use it anymore. No, fix it. Okay. Ohtani he's not going to do a whole lot of damage with that outside pitch because you're getting out of the bat path. So look at the Kurt Gibson home run in 88 and see how he had great plate coverage on a great pitch, and watch Ohtani does not do well on the outside pitch. So where are they going to throw him? Middle in, then he cranks it for a home run. It drives me nuts that these coaches are not, and the pitchers are not exposing the hole in his swing, and they're not exposing it. Instead of exposing it, they're going to walk them. That's totally ridiculous, and that's where the game is hurting. Last thing, Tom Seaver used to say, pitching is an art. Okay, nowadays, man, they just throw it as hard as they can wherever the hell he goes. They just want to throw it as hard as they can. Years ago, you throw a 96 mile an hour fastball. Then you throw a 76 mile an hour change, and you change eye levels. As Tom Seaver, Jim Palmer, Steve Carlton, all those guys, not even just Hall of Famers, pitching was an art, and they've lost that art.
Absolutely. All right, appreciate that, Claudio. Smoking Jim Frazier, what you got for us, Jim?
Hey, thanks, Lou. And I'm pretty sure all of us on this call are huge U-Prep fans. As a new City League champs, the U-Prep looking like the next dynasty in City League football. Hey, listen, I want to apologize for something I said last week. I said there was only 2 good black head coaches out of the 534 head coaches in the history of the National Football League. I want to adjust that a bit. After Sunday, I'm going to say Tony Dungy's the only good black head coach.
That's terrible, Jim.
But hey, listen, you can't handle the truth. But hey, listen, Lou, I'm not going to throw Coach a first ballot Hall of Famer under the bus and Coach Tomlin. I just want to say this is what I'm looking forward to. Coach Tomlin right now with 187 wins is 11th all time out of 534 coaches. He's ahead of Pete Carroll, Bill Parcells, Ron Harbaugh, Mike McCarthy, Sean Payton, Chuck Knox, and I think everybody on here will agree that Mike Tomlin's a better coach than Chuck Knox. And
I won't agree with that at all.
I was waiting for you to jump in on that, Claudio.
Oh yeah.
Matthew Stafford surpassed Dan Marino in some sort of statistic. Does that mean Matthew Stafford is a better quarterback than Dan Marino? Come on, Jim.
Let him finish. Go ahead, Jim.
This year, he has 190 wins. Coach Tomlin to go past him. He should go past Chuck Noll at 193. Next year, he should pass Marty Schottenheimer at 200 and Paul Brown be right behind Curly Lambeau. Listen, I'm looking forward to the crowd, the stadium announcer announcing Mike Tomlin just went past Cole and Marty Schottenheimer, those legends, as he goes and captures and retires one day with the all-time winning record more than Don Shula.
That's heavy.
Yeah, yeah. We'll see about that, Jim. Hey, listen, man. We haven't talked about the NBA too much, but man, this season is starting off wild. It started with a double overtime, and then you have Chauncey Billups getting caught up in his situation. Terry Rozier, if you look on internet, you see all kind of highlights of him doing some shady stuff. But they're trying to put a face on this, but they're saying a lot of mafia. But I'm not seeing any of those guys getting walked and seeing their mug shots all over the place. Where are these guys at, man? But it can't be all these X-ray glasses. Chauncey Billups wasn't in there making these glasses and high-tech tables. They're talking about he got a $50,000 check and Terry Rozier $200. These are middle guys. We're the guys at the top. Get everybody. It's just the tip of the iceberg, and NBA isn't the only sport, man. But I remember back in the day, when somebody had a gambling issue, they just went to another sport. Michael Jordan, baseball for a couple years. It wasn't this crazy guy coming after you, eyes all wild. You just went and played another sport. Also, I want to talk about these referees. When is Scott Foster going to be looked at? Chris Paul had a record that was 0-14, lost 14 straight playoff games when Scott Foster was a referee. That seems unheard of. That seems like a fixed game. Is he going to get under some investigation as well? I want to see how this pans out, but we'll see. It was really disappointing, man. Hey, let's jump into what we really want to talk about. Number to call 412-530-5063. We got the Steelers. They took another bad loss to the Green Bay Packers. They were winning at halftime, and then they just fell apart in the second half. No adjustments. They didn't make any adjustment. The Packers made the adjustment. The defense was horrible. Guys, let me jump to you, Ralph, and Phil Moore, since you all didn't jump in yet. Your thoughts on the game, first of all. Ralph.
Well, I got to tell you, this had to be one of the worst losses in Tomlin's history. I don't think it was, but it has to be close by. Wow. And let me say this. I'm very frustrated with the fact that that Mike Tomlin, mediocre Mike I call him, all right, decided at the press conference to blame the offense. Look, your defense is the one that's screwing up. Your defense is the one that can't get their communication straightened out. Your defense can't stop the run. Your defense can't stop the pass, and you're not blitzing. So don't go and get on the offense for not doing what they're doing. At least they put points on the board. I didn't see no strip of the football. I didn't see no attempt to make a turnover happen. Nothing. It's the stale, same old Steeler, Mike Tomlin, Terrell Austin defense that everybody knows in the NFL. And until you change something, either the head coach or the defensive coordinator, which neither one of them are going anywhere, I want to see Art II go and do that little tap on the door at Mike Tomlin's door and say, I want Terrell Austin out of here, because that's not going to happen until he does that. He did it with Joey Porter, and he did it with Matt Canada. He can do it with Terrell Austin. That's my thoughts.
Okay, Philma, what you got on that? Just
Man,
go ahead.
the defense missed 14 tackles,
Right.
led
exactly.
by Patrick Queen with 3. In 2 games, Patrick Queen has 4.5 tackles. So right now, the Steelers are about maybe like 5th in the league in missed tackles, I believe, like 5th. The Bengals are number 1, I believe.
Yes.
So if you're missing that many tackles, that is scheme has something to do with it, but it's more of the players. The players got to play. Players got to win, and they were playing soft. I'm gonna go Jim shock value right now.
Soft and cheesy.
They are as soft as R. Kelly with a grown woman.
Oh God! Come on! Come on, man! Oh man, Jim, you pass it on.
I mean, like when you see what's the tight end, the play that Deshaun Elliott, the play that Deshaun Elliott got hurt on. They missed 4 tackles on one pass. Yeah. They were in position to make the play, and they did not make the play.
Yeah,
he could have tipped the pass. He messed that up. So I'm really blaming the execution and the one-on-one of the players more than I'm blaming Terrell Austin, which I do think Terrell Austin got to go. And this the first year I'm on that Mike Tomlin train. Like, dude, you gotta do better. But man, the players ain't playing. What we paying TJ for? What we pay Cam for? Which I was against both of them.
Fillmore Highsmith. There's another one that hasn't contributed in the tub too much. You know,
but he didn't get paid extra money though. These guys were crying off season, wanting to get paid or else, and we just got the or else right now.
Right.
Absolutely. Listen, man, you guys are right on, and I had a couple plays I wanted to show, man. Slay is another one. Look at you talk about soft. The guy's right at all he had to do was tap him, and here's the one. Kraft just threw Elliott out of the way, and then you have Thornton. That's another missed tackle. But on this, if you see this one, where's TJ Watt? One-on-one, people talk about getting chipped. He's doing nothing out there. Again, one-on-one, no pressure. No pressure whatsoever. And more missed tackles. Kraft looked like he was the next coming of Tony Gonzalez. Once again, right around TJ Watt's side. TJ Watt, no pressure. The middle's wide open. Clark can't keep up. Another 2 missed tackles. Look at the middle of the field. Wide open. Another one. Kraft. Here's 4 missed tackles on the same play, a 10-yard out. And then once again, they go around Watt's side. Josh Jacobs goes into the end zone for an easy touchdown. And Joey Porter, I thought he'd make more improvement this year, and he has not. It's just poor all the way around. Corey Trice is back. Hey, I say put him in there. Slay got to get moved to the bench. He's completely washed. We see why Philadelphia let him go. He doesn't have much left whatsoever. So give it a try. You know, they just made a trade and got Kyle Duggar, another safety. I'd like to see Peppers in there more. I've seen enough.
Yeah, where is he? Exactly.
He played very sparingly in that game. He has to get in there. And Duggar, they just got him for the Patriots. I think he's an upgrade over Thornton and Clark as well. But we'll see. Smoker Jim, your thoughts on the defense?
Oh, man, you guys were excellent in your evaluation. I remember doing the WPIL game a few years back. And Clareton High School had a superstar player that was being recruited by everybody by the name of Trenton Cole.
Right.
And he won the 100 and 200 meter dash. He was fastest in the state. He kicked field goals and extra points for him, played both ways for Clareton. And he was just unbelievable. And I wrote the article, and it featured Trenton Cole. And after the game, I went into the locker room and talked to non-coach Nola, their head coach at the time. And I said, what was the difference between your team and Rochester? He said, we had Tyler Boyd and they didn't. And I had never heard of Tyler Boyd at the time. So I had to rewrite my whole article and figure out who this Tyler Boyd kid was. But, hey, the difference in that game is Green Bay had Jordan Love and we didn't. I've never seen a quarterback, and Claudio can help me out, maybe since Dan Marino, that got rid of the ball so fast. I mean, this guy could pre-read the defense. Soon as he knew exactly
it wasn't hard. It wasn't hard.
No, not at all.
The defense could not sack him because he got rid of the ball so fast. 20 straight completions. Hey, listen, I said years ago when Aaron Rodgers, who never helped the kid, I don't care what he said.
Yeah, well, Jordan Love said he did. So, Jim, I'm not going to let you sprint. Your opinion means nothing. He just said that Aaron Rodgers helped him.
In my opinion,
Oh, my
that's
God.
why Aaron Rodgers didn't do a jersey swap with him after the game. So, yeah, y'all can go ahead with that Aaron Rodgers stuff. Hey, look here. He sat the bench at Green Bay for 3 years. Green Bay's philosophy was to draft the first-round quarterback, play, and the Super Bowl recipe would pay everybody else. They was getting ready to get rid of Jordan Love. They didn't think he could do it. Me and Ralph said on Ralph's podcast, I said Jordan Love is one of the best quarterbacks in the NFL. He went out there and proved it. 4,000 yards, 32 touchdowns in his first season after sitting the bench behind a guy that never tried to help him, and Aaron Rodgers. So, listen, Jordan Love was the difference in that football game. And I'm not down on the defense like everybody else. I said before the season.
You said soft and cheesy.
I said they're bend but don't break. Defense got a lot of individual talent. They just got to keep working and working. Because before the season ends, this defense can come together and be everything that Coach Tomlin wanted it to be. They just got to keep working together and keep working together. That's what it is with defense. It's just one voice, one sound, everybody running to the ball at the same time. They're confused. None of them played together last year.
This is come on. This is 8 weeks in, Jim.
Yeah, exactly. They're veteran players too.
Listen,
I don't care if it was 12 weeks in. It's not too late.
Listen,
you get it together before the playoffs. This team got it.
They got to get it together way before the playoffs. So they're not going to make it. But I don't think T.J. Watt is taking enough heat. $41 million. He's looking like a shell of himself. I finally came around with Claudio when he said they should have traded him. I agree. They should have traded him when he was at the peak. Right now, we're not seeing peak T.J. Watt. Tight ends and tackles are blocking him one-on-one. He's not getting to the quarterback. Highsmith is not getting the quarterback. I would move him to the bench and start Herbig. He's more explosive. Highsmith is doing nothing out there. Hayward is doing nothing. And Patrick Queen had one solo tackle. As a middle linebacker, that's unacceptable. And as we saw in the plays, he was out of position so many times. The running backs, the tight ends. Another guy wasted money. Patrick Queen. Now we see Roquan Smith made him. Now that he has to be the green dot, calling all the plays, he's not getting it done. Philma, you made a great points about all the missed tackles that he had. So, kudos. We do have a phone call, though. Mark Britley. All right. Mark.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Yes, sir. How's everybody?
We're calling in the number to call 412-506.
Yes, sir. How's everybody doing?
Good,
Mark. Thanks.
Good. Hey, listen, first of all, I just wanted to say I appreciate Claudio's opening statement on pitching and the different angles and balls. I don't follow baseball, but I like to hear stuff like that because I know what to look for the next time. I also appreciate Smoking Jim's opening on Tomlin, and his perspective in the league.
Mm-hmm.
And I also just wanted to ask, does that mean he will also go past, what's his name, Roberts' record from down there at Grambling, too? I don't know if you included that as well. But, the one thing that disturbed me this week about this game, I don't know if Aaron Rodgers held back because it's his old team. You know why? Because they interviewed him, and Aaron Rodgers said, you know something? Out of all the games to say this, he said, when I retire, I want to retire as a Green Bay Packer. I said, but you're getting ready to play them, and you're playing for the Steelers. You know, the timing was almost suggestive that I still got some love in my heart for them, and maybe I'll pull back a little and rather see them win. Also, he gets a feather in his cap because he can say that, you know, I tutored or mentored Love. And I know it's not childish, but it might be a little far-fetched to consider that. But I looked at it because he was so reserved. He was so laid back. And everybody was played out of pocket. You know what I mean? And I just have to respect that Love. Man, did he pick that defense apart. And so I'm just curious about that. And I know they're supposed to be professionals. The other thing that irritated me, which is why I couldn't wait for your show to come up this Wednesday, was, you know, was it 3 games ago, the punt returner that messed it up and dropped the ball and didn't know he's supposed to take it back in the end zone. Johnson, I think his name was Johnson.
Caleb Johnson, yes, Caleb Johnson.
Yes.
Rookie.
You know, at the press conference, Coach Tomlin had no problem publicly disciplining him and then sitting him on the bench. Now, for this game, you know, he became a diplomat. You know what I mean? He was in the defense, and we have to do this. Why wouldn't you call out those key plays and those key players who made a difference and didn't do their job like you did this other guy? So that's one of my pet peeves that I don't like about Coach Tomlin. You know, the big name and the big dollar guys, you know, he won't put them on the spot. Remember, it's a learning tool, and it should be helpful, and I think the public would want to hear it sometimes. So I don't know how to call this game. I got to wait to see how you guys are going to call it. I think they're angry and embarrassed, and usually sometimes that means that they take it out on their next opponent. But these boys ain't no pushovers.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, but I'm just curious to see what you guys think about it. But I just wanted to get that off my chest. I couldn't wait to get you on. Listen, I'll hang up and listen to the.
Thank you. Thank you.
Next, Mark.
Yep.
Hey, he frees up a lot. He brought up some points. I don't agree. You know, Aaron Rodgers, you know, I wish somebody on the defense would get on players like he gets on his offensive players. I mean, Aaron Rodgers is cussing out running backs, receivers, referees. Where's T.J. Watt? Where's Cam Hayward when guys are missing tackles and out of position?
Yes. Well, they're doing it too. So there. I mean,
they're not stepping up.
Yeah.
You know, T.J. Watt may not be the raw guy, but somebody has to be a leader. Patrick Queen likes to talk it, but he can't walk it. And nobody's walking it right now. And, you know, the energy that was there earlier in the season, it's not there. You know, it's not there. I agree with you guys. Terrell Austin wasn't a good defensive coordinator with Cincinnati. He was
Detroit.
Yeah, he was fired because he was setting records. The defense was giving up 500 yards a game. And right now he has the Steelers doing the same exact thing. We'll see if it changes, but I think a move definitely needs to be there.
Hey, Luther, real quick, I got a report here from 247sports.com who says that the Penn State Nittany Lions are meeting with Brian Kelly and contract is coming. So there you go.
Brian Kelly?
Brian Kelly?
Yep. And contract is coming. 247 Sports is reporting.
Overrated coach in college football is Brian Kelly.
Yep.
Overrated at Notre Dame, was terrible at LSU, and Penn State is making a colossal mistake if they bring him in.
They are.
He will never with Brian Kelly. He's not a good communicator. He wastes talent, and he's never won anywhere, but he keeps getting major contracts. That's a bad move if Penn State is definitely going to do that.
Yeah, I have a report from 347 as well, and Jim said that Claypool was the greatest Steeler wide receiver ever. T.J. Watt's the greatest linebacker ever. Richard Torres was a top 2 heavyweight boxer.
Seats.
2 rows. rankings, the Giants are 2-5 and they're number 2. But his last take about Tomlin's going to be the all-time winning coach without question. But to say Knox, 3-time coach of the year, turned 3 programs around, that to me is coaching. Not just, but I give the Steelers credit for keeping him in there all those times, all those years. Now, but to mention Parcells and all those guys, to me, Tomlin is nowhere near that. And I said that years ago, many times. He's never going to have a losing season, including this year.
You don't believe
they're
that?
not going to have a losing season this year, I don't believe. And that streak will continue. He's won a Super Bowl. I give him credit. And not having a losing season, people joke about it, but it's not easy. And I don't know if it's ever been done. I think Lombardi may have did it, maybe. But having said all that, that was a ridiculous thing to say, in my opinion. And I think it's a good opinion. Now, as far as the Steelers are concerned, you can go on and on and on about this, that, and other thing. Tomlin is the head coach and he's the architect, not Khan. Okay, he's the numbers cruncher. The people that they got were the wrong people. If this was 2019 or whatever, it would have been good. But this isn't 2019. Zero adjustments made during the game. The players know. I'm not going to blame Tomlin for the. Cam Hayward said there's not enough fight. Chuck Noll once said, "If I have to motivate you, I'm going to fire you." Okay, these guys are making zillions of dollars. Damn it, who's the linebacker that was? I'm losing my mind. He just said, "Play for the name on your back too." Linebacker for the Steelers,
James Harrison. Yeah.
Now that man has passion. Polamalu had passion. Casey Hampton had. These guys, nobody had to motivate those guys. These guys, and T.J. Watt isn't comfortable playing here. He's Myles Garrett. He's doing his thing. Okay.
Nobody wants to take me up on that. Myles Garrett is better than T.J. Watt anymore. Huh?
It's not Luther. It's not
sacks last game.
It's not close.
In the season.
It's not close. And we said get rid of him because he's done. 41 million. He's done. He's going to have some splash plays here and there, but that's not what you want. The team, Rodgers is still big time. Can they still make some noise, the Steelers? Yes, but they're going to have to take it upon themselves as men, as players. And again, the scheme's going to have to be the right scheme. And they can still, the season isn't over by any stretch of the imagination. But that last game, they were flat. Jordan Love, man, he just stood back here and just picked them apart. The game before, Flacco picked them apart. They had a running back who gained, all these yards against them. They're just not that good. Being a general manager / head coach, which is what Tomlin is, he's got his fingerprints all over it. You have to be a good architect. You have to be a good builder of teams. Not again, the 76ers of the 70s, when they brought in Moses Malone and Bobby Jones, that's when they won. Okay, because they were the right fit. And go watch the Fishes save Pittsburgh. They didn't do too well until they brought a bunch of Pisces and they brought the right people. You got to bring the right people in, then you can win. So that's my take on that.
Hey, let's jump back in here. Number to call, 412-530-5063. We got Black Prez. This is the life of the NFL. Mike Tomlin. Tomlin and Terrell went to Orange. Come on, after the Packers game. Tomlin could write a book. All right, Black Prez. Black Prez got jokes in here. But it's not a laughing matter how bad the Steelers' D has been the last couple weeks. And, well, they have the Colts coming in. The Colts, 7-1, Daniel Jones, Indiana Jones, Danny Dimes, whatever you want to call him. He's balling this year. And I think he has the MVP of the league, even though they don't give it to running backs anymore. Jonathan Taylor, 15 touchdowns on the year already. He's unstoppable as a running back. It's going to be a challenge. Jim, you haven't spoken much. Why don't you give us this preview for this Colts Steelers game? You already took another major L because you guaranteed that the Steelers would beat the Packers last week. You're going to continue your losing streak, Jim.
Well, I just wanted to congratulate the cherry picker, Michael Parsons, who made the 17th tackle on the season T.J. Watt got 3 times as many tackles as Parsons. He's only
Jim, don't compare the two, please. Jim, stop. Jim, he's paid to sack the quarterback. Is his defense ranked number 30? Is his defense ranked number 28? Jim, don't even compare. We saw the difference in the game. Micah Parsons went through 3 blockers and got a sack. T.J. Watt was blocked single man on man and wasn't getting any pressure. He got a half a sack with Cam Hayward.
You think 17 tackles in 7 games?
He's paid to sack the quarterback. He's paid to sack the quarterback. He got 6 sacks.
The long snapper for the Steelers almost got as many tackles.
Jim, he's paid to sack the quarterback.
That's all he's paid to do. That's all he's paid to do.
Has he not made the defense a lot better, Jim? 6.5 sacks is not cherry picking, Jim. 6.5 sacks is what he had. 17 tackles proves he's a cherry picker. Oh, Jim, all right. Can't argue that. But let me go on to Indianapolis. Hey, listen, I'm not impressed with Indianapolis at all. Pittman is a beast. It's going to be a hard time covering Pittman. What I would do is Jalen Ramsey, I put him in the slot to try to neutralize the tight end from Penn State, who's outstanding. I would play him in the slot. I don't know why you like Trice. Trice should be out of the league. No, Slay's playing like he should be out of the league. I'd rather give the young guy a chance. Slay is playing like he's trying not to get hurt. Can I finish without getting interrupted? I don't interrupt you. Listen, Trice is a bum. I would put Jalen Ramsey in the slot. He's your only chance to neutralize the tight end from Penn State. Hey, listen, run. You can do. Until that defense comes around, you got to outscore teams. Pittsburgh's at home. I'm predicting 34-32 a Pittsburgh win. Ooh. Say that score again, Jim? Five defensive players on the Indianapolis team. Okay, you can. Nobody can. Indianapolis is overrated. Indianapolis is overrated. Okay, they got one of the highest scoring offenses in the league. What did you say? Give me that score again, Jim, because you got a nice losing streak going. 34-32 Pittsburgh.
Indy does not have a good defense. They are bottom of the barrel, but not bottom, but close. They're closer to the bottom. They are in the middle. But offensively, they're big time, so they're going to outscore you. Or do the Steelers have the offense to go punch for punch? I don't believe so. And now, if Indy, I said if they call a mature game, what do I mean by that? Just keep doing what you're doing. Don't do anything stupid. If they keep doing what they're doing, the Colts, because it's working, then I think it's going to be a lot of score for Indianapolis, where the Steelers, they got the greatest kicker of all time in Boswell, and he's gonna have a big day. But I don't believe that the Steelers can keep up with Indy unless they allow Aaron Rodgers to be Aaron Rodgers and say the hell with it. Let's go at it. And again, an effective play, a rollout to the right, throw it to Washington, let him run over people. He didn't catch a pass last week. Terrible. But they can't go punch for punch against Indy. Now, the only other option is slow the clock down, control the ball, run, keep Indy off the field and mess up their momentum. And then that would maybe help the defense a little bit, stay off the field. So they really have a conundrum. They really have a tough game against Indy. And I don't think it's going to be good.
All right, Fillmore, your thoughts?
Well, you know what?
The house. All right. There you go.
Yeah, look, I'm all black because I'm in mourning right now. But the Steelers have proven that they can score 30-plus points in the game. And 30-plus points is a shootout with the Colts. Now, as bad as the team played the last 2 games, this would be the game that they actually get their crap together. And you know how they play up to the big team, they play down to the losing teams. And this would be the signature win of the year. I see it happening. but I don't have a lot of confidence in it. But I just see it happen because this is a trend for Tomlin's team, especially Tomlin's team that underperform. So they seem to perform better when they play better competition. So I could definitely see that happening. But I called Daniel Jones, and people have been laughing at me all year. I'm like, Daniel Jones he came from the Giants and started lighting the league up. And then, the Giants lost Saquon, and he had the best year of his career. Something's wrong with the Giants. Let's just say that. Let's put that out there. Something wrong with the Giants.
Get away from Dayball, Brian Dayball.
they got to, man.
Not fired yet.
They got to. Now the issue is going to be Jonathan Taylor. Right now, he's the best running back in the league.
Yeah.
And we can't stop a sneeze with a tissue right now. So how in the world are we going to stop Jonathan Taylor and also contain their passing game? We can't do both. That's what they could do, one or the other, but they cannot do both. But they cannot stop the pass if Highsmith, if TJ, if Cam and Herbig aren't playing their best. They need to play their best game and throw Daniel Jones off his square just to get the ball out with different times and move him out the pocket. You got to. And then Danny Dimes can run. We can't forget that. Danny Dimes can run.
He'll run to the 5-yard and trip over his left foot, but he can run.
Fillmore, you make a great point about being a shootout. But my question is this. If the Steelers throw when they want to, they can be big time. But if they start throwing because they have to, because they're behind, that's when it could be trouble.
But one problem I had with the game plan last week, the first half they were running. Jaylen Warren had most of his 65 yards in the first half. The second half, they only ran the ball 3 times. I mean, I know they were behind, but you got to stick with the run. That was keeping the Green Bay defense off track, and that's how you run at them. Micah Parsons, great going after the passer, but run.
Jaylen Warren averaged 4.9 yards a carry, and Gainwell averaged 6.2.
Right,
and then they stopped.
Yeah, it didn't make any sense. And Rodgers, 24 for 36, 219 yards, 2 touchdowns. But again, DK Metcalf only had 5 catches for 55 yards. Roman Wilson finally got loose a little bit. I was happy to see that, but I still think they need to add to that wide receiver, crew. I know
big money players, guys, cannot drop passes. I mean, Johnny Smith drops some passes. DK Metcalf. Guys are getting paid, some good money here to catch the pass. You can't be dropping them. That's just something that can't happen.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So we got, let's see, Black Press, Steelers lose against the Colts. Austin gets sent back to Sharon, PA. Yes, definitely go to the website, SC Sports World, get some merch, get some shirts. Who the GOAT said? Colts 40, Steelers 23. Steelers have quit on Tomlin. Wow.
Remember now, every player in the league wants to play for Mike Tomlin. So there you go.
I do know a couple players said the effort wasn't there on defense. Well, and as we saw during the game, there was a lot of quit and a lot of, guys, a tight end running through 4 tackles, outrunning safeties. Black Press, Art Smith doesn't highlight his talent on pass plays. I agree. How does Washington not get any targets? That didn't make any sense. But you threw a pass to Spencer Anderson. He had more passes than Mount Washington. That's unacceptable.
Yeah.
All right.
You know what? Real quick, you said Rodgers had 219 yards. There was what do they call them things? Prop bets or whatever the hell they're called. They said over under Aaron Rodgers 219, and I said, hell, it's going to be over. But how did they come up with that so accurate like that? That's good.
The Gambino and the Barisi family.
You know about them families, Claudia. Don't try to act like you don't know about them. All the ones caught up in the NBA in the scandal. All right. Hey, Lori Pennington. Hey, Lori, what adjustments could the Steelers make to improve their offensive consistency this season? Smoking Jim, you've been kind of quiet. Why don't you start off with answering Lori's question? Thanks for the question.
What's the question?
She said, what adjustments could the Steelers make to improve their offensive consistency this season?
They could have kept
Oh,
George Pickens.
Jim, you're going to say that every week. George Pickens is not here. He hasn't been here for 8 weeks. What can they do with what they have now? You think there's a trade? Is there a Jacoby Myers? I keep thinking they're going to get a Jacoby Myers from the Raiders in a trade. What can they do?
I told you guys before about the con man. He wouldn't know a football from volleyball. He keeps warning you guys 2 years in a row saying they're going. Listen, the trade deadline's here. They're not trading for no wide receiver. If they get one off the scrap heap for no money, they'll do that. They'll bring in another Mike Williams. They're not. They let a legend go.
Oh my gosh!
In Dallas, that's making no money, and that's the season. Aaron Rodgers to George Pickens would have been a beautiful thing to see.
All right. Fillmore, before we go to this next caller, what adjustments do you think they could make? I think defensively is where they need to make more adjustments. But what would you say? And we'll go.
Just for the sake of the conversation, on offense, they need to spread the ball around. They were spoon feeding DK, like he was a toddler. You know what I mean? So they just kept throwing the ball. That makes us one dimensional. Guess what? If you're going to spoon feed DK all day, it's all you're going to look for. Then I'm going to double team him and single cover the rest. And there were plays where Washington was wide open. There was plays where that young man Wilson was wide open, and he didn't throw it to him. Yeah. But I am glad that he got 6 targets from him. Wilson did, because now someone else has to be a threat.
Right.
And if no one else is a threat, then the offense is one dimensional. So the adjustment would be get everyone involved.
Yeah.
I'd say be creative. Be creative. And then, like Fillmore said, the running backs were doing good, and you stop using them.
Yeah.
3 carries in the second half. Come on.
Crazy. That's crazy. Listen, I agree with everything you guys said. Only other thing I would say, Arthur Smith, when they brought him in, I said his offense was very basic. He hasn't made any adjustments from game 1 to game 8. We know the same plays. We know the big 13. We know what they're going to run. If we know it, we know the teams know it. Not doing anything creative. We haven't seen a reverse. We saw a flea flicker that wasn't supposed to be a flea flicker. I mean, it's really basic stuff right now, but I think they need to upgrade that wide receiver position. They have all these tight ends. Freiermuth wasn't getting as many looks as I would have expected him to get after having that great game the week before. He only had 3 catches for 13 yards. I mean, they have to get more creative, but they have to run the ball. A 40-year-old Aaron Rodgers, you can't have him passing 40 times a game and expect to win. They got to run more than 20 times. They got to get at least 30 carries between Warren, Gainwell, and maybe working Johnson for a few. Hey, but let's just jump into the phone lines. LD, say what do you have for us? Thanks for calling, LD.
LD. I was listening to the show, and I just had a few questions.
Okay.
The Steelers had 19 points, I believe, in the first half.
Right.
And they didn't score in the second half, did they?
They did have a late touchdown.
It was garbage time.
It was a garbage time touchdown, but they did score late. Warren Wilson.
But in the first half, the Steelers kicked 4 field goals.
Yeah.
Just think they would have scored 3 touchdowns. So some of the blame has to go on the offensive coordinator.
Mm.
When you get in that scoring zone, you got to try to score at least maybe 50, 60% of the time if you can.
Right.
Especially with the defense we have. What do you guys think about that?
Yeah, I mean, I think there were a lot of blown opportunities. They were moving the ball well, and then they get in the red zone, and then they would just stop.
It would be penalties. Penalties on first down and second down got them in got them in like second and 15 or like third and 20. So that was happening on those drives, and they was moving the ball and they was getting across the 30-yard line. So that took them out, and it's hard. There's no play. There's not too many plays for a 3rd and 17
Yeah, and
due to a holding penalty or whatever.
And the thing is, Aaron Rodgers and the Steelers' offense have been pretty good in the red zone. This is the first game they really struggled and looked like last year's offense in the red zone. They get there and it's field goals. Yes, we love Boswell, but once you get there, you got to score the majority of the time, especially when you're facing a team I said was going to the Super Bowl in Green Bay, and they're playing like it. I mean, that was one of the top teams in the league that we saw last Sunday night. And for the Steelers to get there, they have to strap it up. Right now their defense looks very slow. They're not aggressive. The only game I saw them really be aggressive was against Cleveland. Outside of that, it's been real soft. Guys are running wide open. So, I don't know. What else you got, LD?
Just one thing, Steelers, I don't think have had a turnover in quite a few games.
Yeah, they dropped.
Since Ireland.
They used to try to strip the ball early in the season. I don't see that happening now. Do you guys see that?
Well, one, they're so far off of these receivers. They're earlier in the season they were punching the ball out. Watt and all those guys were forcing turnovers, and now there's so many open receivers and holes for the running back. I don't know. I don't know what they're doing. It's a lack of effort. People say the scheme. Listen, the scheme is what the scheme is. You put your players in position. If Watt and Highsmith, Hayward and Queen aren't making plays, those guys are paid big money to be difference makers, and all of them are failing on the defense. You can't say any of those 4 highest paid players are playing even a portion of what they need to. They all get an F for the last 3 games for me. I don't know what you, Claudia, Bill. I want to add to that.
I just think that, again, that they're flat as a defense. Offensively, Smith is not doing a good job at all, not being creative. Again, you joke, but Luke, that's a great point. Let's say Pepper's got a pass, or whatever his name is, got a pass. Washington didn't even get a target, and as Fillmore said, they were running the ball good.
Yeah.
They stopped it. I mean, you're in the office. These guys like to say, "Oh, we're in the office 12, 13 hours a day," and all that. To come up with that game plan, it's not good. But again, I think that they can turn it around. They have to make adjustments, proper adjustments at halftime. The opposing coach and teams have been. They have to really turn it up, as I always say, if they're going to make a run at this. Because I don't think everybody's talking about Kansas City. I don't know. They're good.
They're just rolling right now. They're hot.
So Indianapolis, but something crazy can happen in the playoffs. But you have to get in there first. But they're just flat. They're just not inspired. They're not playing inspiring ball. And really, again, TJ Watt, he doesn't want to play here. Well, the hell with it. You have to play there. You have to do something because what you're doing isn't working. And they have to tell him. And I think it was Mark who said, Tom will get on the guys, maybe the no names, the big. He's got to get on them. No, you are going to play there. We are going to try something different because what the hell you're doing now isn't working.
Yeah, I agree. Hey, Black
Good point, Claudio. Good point.
Steelers' offense is predictable. Definitely agree, Black Brass. What else you have for us, LD?
I just want to have one question before I go. The number 1 pick for the Steelers, does he ever play now?
He's been playing. Derek Harmon's been in there, but he hasn't been effective like he was the first couple games. But he played quite a bit last game. I'd like to see him in there more than
He'll do better. Jim didn't think Jim so far is right about him. I thought he was going to do better.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he's still, I did too, but Jim thought he was going to be out of the league.
Well,
What do you say, LD?
he doesn't clog up the middle very well.
Yeah, I mean, it's still
in the last 2 games.
right. Yeah, I mean, and Hayward, and Benton. None of those guys. The defensive line has been poor. There's no push on the pass, and there's holes on the run. I mean, you can't say anybody's playing well at this point. So yeah, he's included. I'm not giving up hope on him though. I think Derek Harmon has
yeah.
Unlike Jim.
Just one question. The Steelers, when I look at them physically, the defensive line and offensive line, the Steelers players look a little smaller than the other teams. Do you guys see that sometimes? I'm going to hang up and listen.
Well, I'll jump in first. I think they go more for speed players. You know, they're trying to be faster than the other team. So yeah, the defensive line, offensive line, they want more mobility, I believe. Smoker Jim, you still with us?
Yeah, nobody got bigger guts than the Pittsburgh Steelers defensive line. A bunch of useless guys. They can't draft linemen. They never do it. Derek Harmon's a bust already. I see you guys ain't talking about Caleb Johnson, who was supposed to replace Najee Harris. I told you he was a bum in Iowa. He's a bum here. Hey, listen, I agree with LD. LD was right on point. Even Coach Tomlin said, you can't settle for field goals all the time. And it ain't just on the offensive coordinator. You can't settle for field goals. They've been settling for field goals all season long. There's a couple of games Gardner threw 4 touchdown passes, but for the most part, they've been relying on field goals and it's backfiring on them. They won't rely on field goals this week. They're going to beat Indianapolis. And I'm telling you, I don't know why Coach Tomlin don't like Roman Wilson. Roman Wilson got some of the best hands in NFL history. That could be your number 2 receiver. Give him the opportunity. This guy catches everything with his hands. He gets open, like Fulmore said. He's wide open, and they won't throw to him. He's in Coach Tomlin's doghouse for no reason. Give the guy an opportunity. That's the reason why you drafted him.
Well, he had 4 catches for 74 yards and a touchdown last game.
That's pretty good.
18 yards a catch. We'll see if that continues. But a couple were blown coverages, and he did what he had to. I still think they need to.
Which one was the blown coverage?
The first 45-yarder.
He's shaking bacon cats out there. He looks like Paul Warfield.
All right, hey, before we get out of here, look, Black Press said hire Marvin Lewis. Come on, Black Press. You just said anything.
Hey, why not get Rex Ryan while we at it? Let's go get Rex Ryan.
Real quick, we'll have enough time to go through the Week 9 preview. But give me your top 5, Jim. Jim, half the teams you said last week can't be on your team. Your top 5 this week, Jim. Who are your top 5 teams now, Jim? Jim?
Yeah.
Top 5 teams in the NFL, Jim. That CTE is getting bad, fellas. We got to pray for Jim.
So you got to go with the Kansas City Chiefs, man.
Okay.
Andy Reid is outstanding. 278 career wins. He's doing a great job out there, man. He gets the most out of each and every player. And I tell you what, Patty Mahomes is outstanding. So that got to be your number 1 team. Your number 2 team got to be the Baltimore Ravens. You got to have them as number 2. I like the Rams. I think the Rams is doing a good job. Detroit's doing a good job, and the Philadelphia Eagles is doing a good job as well.
Wow, you said the Ravens. You always got to throw some kind of wild curveball that don't make no sense in there. Come on, Jim. There's no way the Ravens are a top 5 now. Maybe by the end of the season. Right now, no. All right, Claudia, give me your top 5 before we're out of here.
I'm going to go with the Jets. Giants. I'm going to go with I'm going to go with Kansas City. Then I'm going to go with Detroit. Kansas City, Philly, Detroit. I'm going to go with the Colts. I've been getting them off my list, but I'm going to get them on. And then I'm still a big believer in Buffalo and the Rams.
Okay. Listen, I'm going to give mine and Fillmore, you go. Listen, I can't believe none of you guys have the Green Bay Packers on your list. Green Bay is a top 5 team. I
Yeah.
said we're going to the Super Bowl. So I'm going to go my top team right now, Green Bay, 5-1-1. Detroit, I think, is another team that's on fire. Kansas City is my number 2. So I got Green Bay, Kansas City, Detroit, Philadelphia, and then the Colts. The Colts have been playing well. I don't trust them in the playoffs for sure. But those are my top 5. Black Press, he got the Jets, Panthers, Cowboys, Dolphins.
The basement 5. Okay, got you.
Yo, hit the like button, subscribe if you haven't already. Fillmore, give me your 5 before we get out of here.
All right, I think I'm gonna start out 1. So I got Detroit. I got Indy. I'm gonna throw in Kansas City. Green Bay and the Patriots.
Oh,
At 5.
yeah.
The
Dangerous, man.
I don't trust them at all in the playoffs.
But hey, look,
But
as
they're
Stephen
rolling.
A would say, this is fluid, right?
It's
Right
fluid.
now,
It's fluid.
it's fluid, So they've been playing lights out since they lost to the Steelers.
Yeah, you're right. You're right. They have been. Final thoughts, Smoker Jim?
Hey, you might be on to something, Luther. Every quarterback in Green Bay history, when they were 27 years old, won the Super Bowl. Bart Starr was 27. Brett Favre was 27. The government verified that. Aaron Rodgers and Jordan Love right now is 27.
Hey, you're right. Hey, listen, I definitely think that's a strong possibility. My final thoughts, man. We got out to see some good games. City League, UPrep beat Westinghouse. Fillmore, you hear that? They beat Westinghouse.
I'm aware. I'm very well aware.
They beat them like they stole 26-0, Fillmore. Wow, that was a stop. And
that's crazy. That's crazy. You really going hard like that. I mean, we understand what happened. We understand what happened. I can't believe it. They still got a chance for the state playoffs.
Yeah.
So we're going to.
But listen, Westinghouse, we love Westinghouse. They're young. They have a lot of sophomores. Next year will be a chance for them to get back to the city and possibly win state. But UPrep, they play Friday. Hopefully they could take care of it. But we got out. We got to see Lee McGinnis and his crew, Smoking Jim. They didn't throw as many flags this time. And Amani, we gave the trophy to Gabe Jenkins, 390 yards, 6 total touchdowns. So Amani is rolling this year.
How many yards did he have?
390 total. That's rushing and receiving. He was doing his thing. He was right there.
And he decommitted from Penn State, correct?
Yes. So he's still
any updates on where he may go?
No. I was talking to them. They it's still open. I know they took a visit to Nebraska, so it's open. A lot of those guys who committed to Penn State are, back in the mix. But if Ralph is right and they hire Brian Kelly, we'll see if he's able to confirm some of those. I hope it's not Brian Kelly. I really don't like him as a coach. I think he's overrated. But any final thoughts, Claudio Fillmore, before we get out of here? Appreciate all the calls, though.
I'm going to go Indy 35, Boswell 23. And real quick, I was watching a documentary today about Bill Walton, and a name that was prominent was one of my all-time favorites, Maurice Lucas from Henley. Now, those guys, you talk about a team, they weren't a great team. I'm sorry, individually, with the exception of those two. But man, what a team Portland was, and they broke my heart back then when they beat the Sixers. But anyway, I had to mention Maurice Lucas.
Oh, yeah, for sure. Let's get these last ones. Black Press, Jim Flacco, comeback player of the year. All right, Terrell Austin will be getting a federal job. Come on. Glory, great show. Appreciate that. And make sure you go to SC Sports World for sure. And he'll be going to Grove City. Black Press.
Look, real quick, man. Hey, somebody from Pitt, please start recruiting from the WPIAL.
Yep.
Okay, please. They're available. You see them. Keemon Spell, Gabe Jenkins, they're here. That's that'll work. Go get the players here. Keep them here. Yeah, legends are born here, man. Legends.
Narduzzi's not doing it. Oh, Lori has a question. Why are athletes backing out from Penn State? Well, Penn State fired their coach, James Franklin, a couple weeks ago. So a lot of the recruits have backed out because they don't even know who the coach is. So that's why. So
And they're not going to go back if Brian Kelly gets it.
Nope.
Right. So we'll see. Right now, Terry Smith from Gateway is the interim head coach. They took a bad loss the other week, so we'll see. Hopefully, things pick back up for them. But for Smoke and Jim, Ralph, Claudia, Fillmore, I'm Luther Dupree. Make sure you go to the website, get some merch, and we'll check you out next time. Peace.